watch, encampments and homelessness are in the rise in every town and community, every city. 5 years ago, the Auditor General reported this government had no plan to end homelessness. A few days ago, Ontario's Financial Accountability Office reported that Ontario is experiencing the lowest housing starts in 69 years. We have over 100 housing advocates in the building today looking to this government for a plan to end homelessness, including women's homelessness. On the National Day of Housing, is the Premier content with his own failed housing policies, or is he finally ready to commit to building and creating a housing plan to end homelessness?
Members will please take their seats. Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. In fact, since we've come to office, we've been seized with trying to untangle the mess that was put in place by the previous Liberal government, Speaker. Now, for 15 very, very long years, the previous government, supported by the Liberals, put in place process after process after process that made it literally impossible to get shovels in the ground, and we have been untangling that. Now, the results of that, before interest rate increases, were that we were building more purpose-built rentals, and still are, than we ever were before, and we were getting more shovels in the ground of homes of all type than ever before. At the same time, Mr. Speaker, we knew we had to do more on the affordable housing side. That's why we exempted development charges for that type of housing, Mr. Speaker. That's why we allowed third units, Speaker, and that's why we increased funding to the highest levels in Ontario history, Mr. Speaker, for the homelessness prevention program. But, Mr. Speaker, as I've said and will continue to say, with that large investment, we are expecting to see results. And if our municipal partners and our partners in the field aren't able to show us the results that Ontarians deserve, then we will move further to ensure that Ontarians have the results that they deserve.
Thank you. Supplementary, the member for Toronto, St. Paul's.
This Premier is failing at his own housing targets. He has no plan to create real affordable housing, let alone supportive or transitional housing for women who are trying to escape violence. We gave them a solution, Homes Ontario, which would double the supply of permanently affordable homes, including creating homes for survivors. This government said no to that solution. While this government fails at housing starts, they're also failing to protect tenants like Laura, Wesley, Ronnie, Lynn, Katrina, Carol, Mandy, Sandra on Redpath, and Sandra on Bathurst, and countless others in my community. This government has let vacancy decontrol run amok, incentivizing predatory landlords to not complete necessary repairs in hopes that tenants will get tired of living in crappy conditions, leave, and then the landlords jack up the rent 2 and 3 times. My question is to the Premier. Good morning, Premier. When will this government eliminate vacancy decontrol, establish real rent control on all buildings, ban those bloody AGIs that are gouging my tenants, and penalize corporate billion-dollar landlords who refuse to maintain their properties? Thank you.
Remind the members to make their comments through the chair and the Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing.
Yeah, Mr. Speaker, because that will solve the crisis that we're having. Because a vast majority, this is the difference between them and us, right? This is the difference between them and us, Mr. Speaker. A vast majority of the people
for
who
Toronto,
own
St. Paul's, come to
make
order.
properties available are mom and pops. People like my parents who came here and worked 7 days a week, put all that they had into owning rental property so that they could make that available for people. We never went on vacations. We went to our small buildings and we worked on Saturdays.
St.
We
Paul's
worked on
will come
Sundays.
to order.
Our March breaks were spent cleaning our apartments, Mr. Speaker. It is those very same people that she calls crooks. I call them heroes. I call them people who help build a bigger, better, stronger